So, should I go to Turkey to get skin removal surgery? If you asked me a couple of months ago, I would have laughed. You're asking me now, and that's a much harder question. Today, we're talking about my experience talking to Turkey to get skin removal surgery. Can I tell you? It blew my mind. It was completely different talking to Turkey than it was talking to anyone in Australia. First of all, they are seasoned professionals. They knew exactly what they were talking about, exactly what I wanted. There were no question marks like there was in Australia. And boy, were they keen to have me. I was being told about promotional offers. I was being told if I came in spring versus summer, if I added on extra procedures, I might even get a discount. Conceptually, to me, that was absolutely wild given the experience I've had in Australia. Procedures themselves were slightly different, very, very similar, but slightly different. The main difference being that when we're talking about my belt lipectomy, it's a bit more like a extended tummy tuck, an extended 360, and I would probably have what they call like a T scar. And so that just means that the scarring was going to come a little bit higher up my abdomen compared to being hidden in my underwear. So when you find out the price, you'll probably be okay with that scarring. They spoke to me through WhatsApp and sent me a lot of information and photos. They told me about the type of accommodation. They were overall a really positive experience. And then it came to the quote. I had to double check. I seriously could not believe the price that I got. Procedures are slightly different, but I was quoted $15,000. $15,000. I am going to have to pay for flights for myself and a carer, likely my partner. So let's add on another $5,000 there. But $20,000, that makes this a pretty hard decision. This all just came down to price, I'd be all in. If this came down to surgeon capabilities and experience, I'd probably be still pretty convinced. So why haven't I booked it? Feels a little risky. So if you were a lot closer to Turkey, maybe this might be a more viable option, but Australia is really far away. To get there, I'm probably looking literally over a full day's worth of travel. On the way back, when I'm all stitched up and bandaged up, that sounds really uncomfortable. I also feel like that adds added complication and added risk. If you haven't booked, it's still an option. Price-wise, it's super convincing. Just the distance and the added risk just still feels a little bit uncomfortable. But I kept looking. So next I'm going to tell you about South Korea.